serving up a warm dish of the Triads culinary fare, here's your weekly helping of food, news, and views. This is The Man Who Ate the Town.
Hey folks, and welcome to this episode. That's number 113 of the Man Who Ate the Town podcast. This is for the week of June 3rd through the 9th, 2019. My name is Tim Beeman.
And my name is Ray Morgan.
Yes, and we're opening the recipe box.
Open.
We are recording this episode of The Man Who Ate the Town at the Lab at Industry Hill, is a repurposed building on North Chestnut Street in the old warehouse district of downtown Winston-Salem. Industry Hill itself hosts a lot of cool things: restaurants, chocolatiers, breweries, entertainment complexes, I can't even talk, a high-end stereo shop, bouldering facility, and of course the lab here with us at Industry Hill. Now, this Saturday, the 7th of June.
Glad you did that.
Yeah.
I saw you pull that right out of the middle of your head.
I was thinking, because I know the 8th is Sunday. So the 7th of June, there's going to be a block party from 12 to 6 up here on 9th Street. They're changing, and I'm actually found out today that I'm part of this. Woo-hoo! So I will have a booth with my tent and stuff out there.
Nice.
Saturday. So I'm actually working with Machine Gun Graphics to make me a banner, because I don't have one that I'm like enough to use.
Right.
So I want one that's professionally done and not just thrown together. So
is it going to be less desirables?
It's going to be less desirables, but it's actually going to be the less desirables network. So, I mean, it's going to have that, and I'm just going to probably make up a flyer or something.
I'll say somewhere on there you could say the network of The Man Who Ate the Town, because you've got the logo, and just put the logo in there.
That's true. Well, I'm going to make like flyers that say what the network is.
Yeah.
I don't have stickers and stuff. I don't have a lot of swag, because again, this was last second of, oh, you want to be part of it? Okay. I'm like, yeah. Why wasn't I informed? But
I live here.
Yeah, I do. I live here 5 days a week. So
it's funny that this used to be the building where fruits and nuts were going through here.
That's true, and now there's a bunch of fruits and nuts still in here. So I'm going to warn everybody. First of all, I want to say, Ray, thank you for coming back to me.
I'm happy to be back.
And say hello, a shout out to Sharitha. She did a good job filling in.
Yes, I listened. I was listening to you. She did a great job. Thank you, Happy, for filling in for me. And I'm glad to be back in the co-pilot seat. It is my seat. It's got, my little indentation in it.
That's
now.
right.
So, it's good to be back.
So you were in, I call it preacher school, but
Truth, that's a good way to call it. It was in preacher school.
Yeah.
Learning all the stuff that goes along with that. Actually, a big part of what you do as a preacher is you do the administrative side of the church. So you need to know, here's how that works. So got some of that and just some basics.
So you can administrate.
I can.
All right.
Thankfully, I already had some background in that. So
that's good.
But yeah, it was a good time. We were at Lake Junaluska, which is just absolutely gorgeous.
Where
in
is
May.
that?
It's just past Asheville.
Okay.
Not quite to the Tennessee line, but definitely deeper into the mountains. It's beautiful there.
All right. Well, again, I'm so glad you're back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back.
No, so what I was going to say, just so everybody knows, this show will be review heavy.
Oh,
because I've done a lot of stuff. So I may want to go ahead and put on this, and this is all going to be decent stuff. It's not like I'm being negative for this,
folks.
But these are only my opinions based on my experiences. As with any review that I post or talk about in this podcast, I hope you will visit the establishment and formulate your own opinions and views of the restaurant. No review is ever meant to as a means to denigrate or belittle the good work most of the restaurants are trying to do. This is an opinion of what I did or didn't like, or how I saw things, and not just a reflection of the overall quality, or vision of the company. Pardon the pun, but take this all with a grain of salt.
And that was the legal disclaimer that he was prompted by Dewey Cheatham and Howe to read on the air.
Yes. Dewey Cheatham and Howe, dictates a lot of my legal wranglings.
Yes.
So the Spirits of Summer was this past Saturday, and it was a fun day. It seems like there were fewer wineries this year than in the past. I don't know what that is. This is my favorite of the two wine festivals that are big here locally. The one in the North Carolina Wine Festival, which is in Tanglewood,
Right.
the week before, the week of Memorial Day.
Yeah.
And this one, which used to be Salute, is the week after Memorial Day. So now it's Salute and the Texas Pete Culinary Arts Festival slammed together.
Okay.
So this was the Spirits of Summer presented by Texas Pete.
Yeah, we've got to have that Texas Pete moniker on there
That's right.
because they're here. This is home.
The good thing about this one, though, as opposed to the other one, you have trees over there, but everything else is open. Here you can enter businesses. There's shade. The buildings themselves create a breezeway, and you know what? You're downtown.
Yeah.
The city that I love. That's why I love being down there.
It doesn't take quite that far to walk from where you can park.
Right, absolutely. Actually, we parked at Underdog Records on Birch
Yep.
Street and went in and talked to him before we had to be downtown for it, and we just left our car there and walked, so we didn't have to worry about parking at
I
all.
mean, you're talking a couple of blocks.
Yeah, 2 blocks. So I hosted two of my faves from Lowe's Foods demo tent. First was Richard Miller, a past guest on this podcast from Butcher and Bull. He made tomahawk ribeye steaks with fresh grilled vegetables. Now, these tomahawks were huge. The bone themselves were about 1.5 feet, 2 feet long.
Holy smokes.
The ribeyes on them were probably about 8 inches in diameter
Wow.
and about 2 or 3 inches thick.
So that's what they normally would make like 6 steaks out of.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should see how big he's holding out his hands. Uh-oh.
Ooh, bless me.
All right, bless you. You
You're the preacher. You can bless me.
blessed my child.
Sing. Now, these were fantastic. And on the grill, it was just... I hate those when they come and they don't
You're
come.
like, right there,
Yeah.
right there. I was not going to say a thing. I was just going to let it happen. But then it didn't happen. But those ribeyes. Okay.
All right. You might need to call an exorcist next. Okay. Oil, salt, and pepper. That's all they used. Put them on the grill.
Just nice, simple.
Let
the
them
meat
go.
speak
Slap
for
them on the
itself.
grill. The veggies you got that morning from Cobblestone Farmer's Market. Oh, you got onions, green onions. You got squash. You got baby carrots. You got a lot of good stuff. And that's not it.
You don't think that's blowing stuff into your face?
No, because it's not hitting my face. Anyway, I think I had something on my hands from a while ago.
Oh, well, that could do it.
So you had the baby carrots, he had the green onions, he had the squash, and he did those also in oil and salt and pepper. Only thing he used, threw them down there, and he cooked them while he talked, and he and I had a good banter back and forth. I think it made for a good time. His parents were there. I was talking with them and took questions from the audience. It was a good time.
Cool. That sounds like fun.
And
You could sit at home and watch a rerun of something streaming to
Yeah.
do that same thing, or you could have been downtown and seen it live.
and tasted it.
Oh, yeah.
Because with those big ass steaks, there was plenty enough for people to try it.
Yeah.
And there were people stopping who weren't even under the tent while he was making them, stopping to come over and get a sample.
Well, yeah, you smell that cooking. You're like, where is that? I want that. Yeah. And it's reminiscent of what they're fixing
Oh
at
yeah,
Butcher and Bull.
and that is on the menu.
Yeah.
So it's cool. One of the guys, his name's David. He is like the manager for the Downtown Winston-Salem Partnership cleanup crew, the street team. And he got one of the bones and was eating the meat off the bone.
Oh, that's good meat right there.
Then up next was Tony Delisio,
Oh, yeah.
which is, always a grand old time. Let's see.
Well,
There's-
he is your favorite. There he is.
Yeah.
Man, look at that bone.
I know.
That
and
is
you
awesome.
You won't see what's like hanging down another 2 feet down
Oh my
there.
gosh, that's huge.
But he is, like I say, it's my favorite Italian from my favorite Italians. And if you've listened to this podcast, you know that Tony and I have some kind of bromance going on. Tony made gnocchi arugula, and he started with olive oil and garlic and then added some herbs and grape tomatoes, later shrimp, and a splash of white wine.
Mm-hmm.
Then he cooked the gnocchi and added that into this thing. Everyone said it was delicious. Gnocchi's not my thing, so... and there was... I don't think Tony anticipated the amount of people that were going to be there, so it was basically here, and I was letting people go on. But
You already knew how awesome his food was.
everybody that I talked to, because I was asking, they all thought it was delicious, and it's Tony, so you know it's going to be.
Well, of course.
All in all, I think it was a good day for me at the festival. I sat in Bull's Tavern for a little bit and drank some suds, and
It's a great
of course,
spot
that
to
was
hang
delicious.
out.
Yeah, because the air conditioning was cranked, and it was not only about 80, 84
It's
degrees,
not bad, yeah.
but still, I mean, it's over 50 degrees. It means I'm going to be sweating. So I was in there with the AC cranked.
Was Danielle in there?
Danielle was not. I saw Danielle yesterday.
How's she doing?
She's doing good. You know, her and her mom really holding up pretty well.
Good.
I think a lot of it's relief because he suffered for 3 years and it's done. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Danielle Bull, who owns Bull's Tavern, her father Daryl passed away 2 weeks ago, the Wednesday before Memorial Day. So
It's an amazing family. They're just really some special people.
they are, and just to see the outpour of support that came to this thing yesterday, it was amazing. They released a white dove, and it flew while they sang "I'll Fly Away."
Yeah.
They released a white dove, single one, and it went right over the farm. It turned specifically to the right and went over the farm. So it was very symbolic.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
All right. Well, 2 weeks ago, I did something I don't usually do.
Uh-oh.
I went to a chain.
No.
I did.
No. 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 My image of you is tainted.
But wait,
well,
I have
always a
an
little tainted.
Yeah. If it wasn't tainted, I didn't do it right.
Right.
I went to Carrabba's.
Okay,
I
so I'm
was
not
a-
going to be upset with you about Carrabba's. I like Carrabba's.
Okay, well, it's like the less sodium laden version of Olive Garden, you know?
Yeah, it's the better version.
Definitely better. So I was invited there by the local proprietor, Daniel Butner. Daniel is a really cool dude with a beard that even I am envious of.
I got to
And-
say, the picture you showed me,
Yeah.
this is sculpture.
Yeah, I mean, this is fantastic.
Yeah, it's a fantastic. You've got to be somebody to be able to wear that beard and pull it off, and he does.
Yeah, and it like you said, sculpture. It's not just dangling there.
Yeah.
I mean, he moves. It moves. You know, sometimes, like Pablo, when he was around, he would turn his head and his beard would still be hanging down because it was just so soft. His is still soft, I'm figuring, but it's just sculptured, and
Yeah.
it's just like. I don't know. I'm going on too much about a beard on a food podcast, but it was still cool.
When you see him, you'll understand.
And he does good things with his restaurant. He does good things with the community. So he's very community driven. In fact, his family, the Butner family, he can trace all the way back to the founding of Old Salem, one of the original 6.
Really?
Yes. Butner's Hat Shop, which is right next to Winkler's Bakery.
Yeah.
There's one of his great uncles was the Butner for the hat shop, and when the name was Winkler, his something like 10X grandfather or whoever was the one of those who founded the bakery. Wow. So he truly has his roots.
His roots are here
in this
literally with the founding of this city.
Yeah. So.
Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah. I mean, he's proud of his family too, because you can talk to him, He's like, well, I have this, and he understands my thing about chains. But what he says is he wants to show the people of Winston-Salem, especially the support local people,
Right.
what a responsible chain looks like in the community.
Yeah. Now there's the difference.
Yeah. Yes, he still has to give so much of the stuff to the head office.
Right. That's part of the agreement.
Yeah. But everything he can, he gives back to the community. He has done things with the Red Cross, like when there was a first responders group that was heading out to go take care of like a flood or the hurricane or
Right.
something like that. He fed them before they left.
Nice.
There have been nonprofits that's come through that he gives to. When we did Mike's Week several years back
Yeah.
for Skippy's, he was in there. I mean, he's
He was
not
in
a
there.
local. He is a local, but he's not a local restaurant owner. He's just a restaurant owner that's local. But he was there, and he was doing everything that needed to be done. So
That's awesome.
So-
And that whole thing for Mike, I mean, to me, that's still one of the most beautiful things I've seen
Yeah.
in life and in Winston-Salem. You
Yeah.
know, and to the fact that Yamas kept that,
Yeah.
kept his sign and his decorations above the door, spoke volumes to what he meant to the community. So if Daniel's right in the middle of all that, all right, well, that speaks volumes about him as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and he is the third owner of this Carrabba's. So he came in to take over and to turn it into something to be proud of, not just, hey, we've got a chain.
We have another chain.
Yeah. So I was very surprised at the quality of the food and the detail that Daniel put into this dinner. It was a wine tasting dinner.
Okay.
We had the first, I'm going to tell you what we even had. We had bruschetta Paolo, which is caprino cheese spread with marinated roasted red peppers and tomatoes. It was kind of spicy. It was served with house-made ciabatta bread and topped with chopped hazelnuts.
Oh, you don't ever see that.
No. And it was paired with a Sauvignon Blanc out of New Zealand, and that cut the spiciness of the Paolo. So it wasn't overly spicy, which I didn't think it was anyway, but some people were like, oh, this is a little warm. But they got over that.
Yeah.
The next was the spaghetti puttanesca, which was spaghetti tossed in Carrabba's spicy tomato sauce with Kalamata olives and capers. That was paired with a nice red. I don't remember which red it was. The dish was a tad spicier than the last, but it was still very tasty. I think everyone's favorite from the night was the next course, which was the chicken bruschetta with a balsamic glaze, fresh tomatoes, mozzarella cheese, and fresh basil. And there was sauteed broccoli on the side of this, too.
Oh, yeah. See, that got my attention.
There was a great earthiness to this dish, I think because of the balsamic. There might have been some cumin in there, too. I'm not sure, but...
Yeah, he's not telling you everything.
No. And I don't blame him. This was served with a Malbec, which is one of my favorite reds now. It's kind of jammy. It was really good there. Everyone seemed to like that one, like I said, the most. The dessert was a strawberry cheesecake with Carrabba's house-made strawberry puree. He admitted the cheesecake came from someplace in New York City.
New York City?
Yep,
You knew
yep,
that
yep.
was coming.
Yep, but the strawberry puree was made here with local strawberries, I believe, and they served that with a Riesling. Now, this cheesecake piece was
Again,
Probably-
you're making
yeah.
a big thing with your hands.
yeah, this thing is huge and about that thick. And for this dinner that night, he went through 6 cheesecakes. So yeah, it was pretty big.
Wow.
Like I said, Daniel's family can be traced back to the bakery and the hat shop in Old Salem, the founding of Old Salem, which in essence means the founding of this city that we live in.
Well, and if you were the proprietor of the bakery, you know, especially at that time, you were right in the middle of everything that was going on. You were one of the leaders of this community.
Yep. Yeah, he cares about this community, participates, like I said, in fundraising events, donates to great causes around town and the country. And he's just an overall sweet dude. He
Yeah.
just really is. Thanks again to Daniel for having me. And I believe I'm going back tomorrow, and I'm taking you.
That's what I'm hearing.
And-
I'm excited to hear that.
And your lovely bride is going.
Yes, when I sent her a text, she started sending me yippies.
Yeah, okay. and my wife will be with me too. So
Well, then
I have a couple other
It's a
people.
date.
I have a couple other people that I've asked. Paul, one of the beer dads, one of my business
Yeah.
partners. He's going to check with his wife to see if they can go. What it is, he wants to get people to push the business because he says he too is affected by this Business 40 shutdown. I mean, yes, he's out on Stratford Road, but one of the main arteries is Business 40 coming from downtown.
Right.
And
Yeah,
that's
you're right.
and unless you want to get on at Peters Creek or Cloverdale, then
Yeah.
you know you're going to have to maneuver some traffic or whatever. So and I understand that. So
Well, and
it's
Stratford Road is not known for being congestion free on the best of days.
That's true. Even midnight, you can have to wait in traffic there. So our job is to push a locally owned business. Is it a local business? No, but it's locally owned
It is a locally owned business.
with someone who is into this community.
That's the part.
and gives back.
That's the part that got my attention. You're right. There is a way to do that responsibly, to be a part of the community instead of just being a vacuum cleaner in the community.
Yes, and sending the money somewhere else.
Yeah. And I recognize that, yes, he's purchased a chain, so yes, he's got fees that have to be paid back. But the fact that he is intimately involved with the community, well connected, I mean, literally his family goes back to the start of this,
Yeah.
and that he's still here. His family is still here in this community. Yeah. He would be the first person that I have talked to that I know can trace the roots all the way back to Old Salem.
There's another the girl who was recently on Jeopardy, who's here, Sarah Butner. They're not. They're related, but like sixth cousins
Okay.
because they like share like 9 times grandparents or something. But her last name is Butner, and she can trace hers too. So they
Wow.
were somewhere on the line. They were brothers.
That's cool.
So. And so this town has several of those. I mean, the Butners are there, the Mickeys are there, a couple of other Voglers.
Okay.
So those are the families that have been here since the 1700s in Salem.
Wow.
And there are more, but that's just the 3 off the top of my head.
We'll have to get us a historian for that.
Yep, and we need to take. Well, I'll take more pictures tomorrow. I have posted pictures of the Carrabba's. I have not posted pictures of this next thing that I want to talk about.
What are we talking about?
This past Thursday, I, along with Mary Hagland of Mary's Gourmet Diner, and her mother, Nikki Miller-Kah, Tim Clodfelter, Michael Hastings, Carol Leggett, and Kristen Dokas, all got to sample the new menu from the newly installed chef Antoine Hairston at
Yay!
Mac and Nelly's over on Country Club Road.
Now, that's an A-list of folks right there.
Yeah. And I think many people have got it in their heads that Mac and Nelly's is just this wing place, a party atmosphere. There's some TVs and all that stuff in there. Yeah, those are in there. But they want to change that perception. They want it to be a serious eating place.
Okay.
And I believe there's Mac and Nelly's around. I don't know that this is the only one, but they want to put this one on the map. And with Chef Antoine, he is a graduate of the Providence Culinary Training,
That's fantastic.
and he is a protege of Chef Jeff Bacon. And anybody who is a protege of Chef Jeff Bacon, you know, they at least know their stuff.
I was going to say.
Now, whether
know
they
their
can do it
stuff.
or not is another question, but he at least knows his stuff. And I'm not going to go over what we had because I've not made a post about him yet, or I've not posted the Instagram picture. So I don't want to give away something with no context that people
Right.
can't see yet. So next week, I might talk about what we actually have. We actually have a guest next week, too.
Oh. Yeah.
So there's
Life
a
is
pretty
better
good
with
description.
guests.
Yeah, yes, I will say that Chef Antoine is turning McAnally's around, and I hope this gives them the push they need to get over that wing slump.
Yeah.
If this
well,
tasting,
having a high caliber shelf in there, that makes a difference.
it does. And if it was any indication from this tasting, they'll do just fine.
Yeah.
But they're in a weird spot, so you got to get people to it. Yes, you have to park and walk because
What?
because there's no parking directly in front of it because it's in where McAllister's Deli used to be on Country Club Road.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to park and walk. But you know what? The Kimono doesn't
Yep.
worry about that. The Monte del Rey or whatever they are called
Yep.
there doesn't worry about that. So go to McAnally's.
And,
they
those other
have
places do good business too.
Yeah.
So we know people do go to that shopping center.
And they now have a brunch menu too.
Oh.
And I will say, I'm not going to talk much about it other than this. My favorite thing on the tasting menu that day was the biscuits and gravy with the hand patted sausage patties.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good.
It was really good. Yeah, that's good.
I might have to make a detour on the way home.
I want to send a shout out over to Joel at Cowboy Brazilian Steakhouse.
Hey, Joel.
You do magic, brother. Magic. Stephanie and I went there on Friday as we needed something different. We, just needed, because we didn't know what we were doing exactly because Saturday was so weird and we didn't know if I was going to have to play a show that night. I didn't know what was going on. So we said, let's just go over here. We've not been there in a while. And Joel come up to me, gave me a big hug, and told me he wears my Man Who Ate the Town shirt everywhere.
Cool.
Our server, Michael, is a fan of podcasts, and he may come do a little interning with me.
Nice.
I actually may have 2 people interning with me this summer for a little bit. We'll see. But anyway, thank you, Joel, and your staff for showing us amazing hospitality. Remember, folks, we had Joel on the show about a month or so ago. He's passionate about doing the right thing, or doing this thing right, and he does. There will be some social media about this week as well. So
He's also passionate about doing the right thing.
yeah,
I mean, he is very
that's
involved.
a good movie. Yeah.
He was. He's very involved in the community and offers the restaurant up for all sorts of folks to come in.
The Pride drag brunch is there.
The Disney drag bunch in particular. That was kind of like, that's cool.
Yeah. It was just, and the nature of the way you get the food, and you know this, and we've talked about this. It's really, pictures are hard to come by because you're just getting a little piece of something at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to make a collage out of what I got, and I'll have descriptions and put them however. But I told him I would make sure to post some stuff about this and push, because another Business 40.
Well, his bridge is now open.
His bridge is open, but you gotta get to the
You still gotta
south
get
side
to
of it to get to it.
Yeah.
so we'll figure this out and we'll make it right for them. So
Yeah, if you haven't been to Cowboy, you gotta try it. And again, I think Joel's advice, have a late breakfast, don't eat lunch, come hungry, is excellent. And just the whole, don't rush, take your time. If you sit here for an hour and a half to 2 hours, then that's about the normal amount of time.
Yep.
How long were y'all there?
About 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yep. It was
It's funny to watch those folks that come in and pile their plates up and just like,
yeah, and then
And
they're
they're like,
sitting back.
"Oh, I'm way too full, man. We gotta go.
Now we did go up to the salad bar.
Yeah.
We did have. I got it was about a quarter cup of the spring mix,
Yeah.
a little bit of blue cheese dressing on it, and had a little bit of shrimp cocktail, and maybe one other thing, or cheese, because I like cheese. I like cheese, and then
He likes a lot of cheese.
I do. I like a lot of cheese, and that was it. So then it was like turn the little thing over and watch the sparks fly, and it was good. And I said, no, I don't want that. He said, do you want anything particular? I said, well, we can do something like this. He said, yeah, let me go ahead and get that. And so they brought it, whatever you. And I said, give me the rarest you can get.
And they get it.
And he does. They couldn't do that with the brisket because you do brisket one way and you just do it.
Yeah.
But the Everything else, I like my red meat anyway, rare, and everything else was done perfectly. No,
Yeah.
that was done perfectly because that's the way it's supposed to have been, but it was all good.
Yeah, the first time you go, you kind of want to sample all the meats. But after that, then you can come back in and go, my favorites were these.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we were much more selective the second time, and we focused on the fillets because they were so good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they were.
There was the barbecue pork ribs. There was
Those are good. The lamb was really good.
it was there was the lamb chop. Then there was the leg of lamb.
Yeah.
There's the brisket. There's the top sirloin. There's the filet wrapped in bacon, or you can get it without bacon. There
Both were
was the pork sausage and the spicy chicken sausage.
Mhm.
The pineapple.
Oh my God, the pineapple.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pineapple's a treat.
Yeah. So, and they came by once, and Stephanie got one, and I'm like, I'll wait on that because I wanted that to be my dessert.
Yeah.
Then we got dessert.
But it's actually a nice palate cleanser.
It is.
That's what he was saying.
It is,
And I
because-
hadn't thought of it that way, and it's like, you
Well-
know what? You're right.
Well, with all that meat, you usually don't get an acid other than any kind of seasoning that you're putting on them,
Right.
and that would still probably be only like lemon juice or something.
Yeah.
So, with that pineapple, you're getting the citric acid that helps clean away all the gunk from that, and the doctor's orders cocktail is quite fantastic as well. I had two of those. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like they're old fashioned.
Okay.
I
I haven't had those.
Yeah, so it's really good. It was the last thing on the menu, so I want that because it had Grand Marnier and a couple other things. And Grand Marnier is my favorite liqueur of all time, my favorite alcohol of all time, really. So yes, once again, thank you, Joel, for you guys are awesome.
They really are.
Now, I've had my first 2.5 entries into my summer of burgers, and I'll explain the half in a second.
2.5. Okay,
First-
there's a reason for a half.
First, last week, I had the Wild Mexi from Food Freaks.
Food Freaks.
This was
Love you, Brandon.
probably the messiest thing I've ever eaten in my life, but it was so damn good.
Yeah.
2 patties with andouille sausage between them, Munster cheese and jalapenos with sriracha mayo sauce on, of course, Martin's potato buns.
Yeah.
Yes, that burger was amazing, and I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to show any favoritism for anything for any of these. So, next was,
But it was amazing.
it was freaking amazing. Yeah.
And so, would you, without hinting whether it makes the top 5, top 10, top 2,000,
Well, if I've only had,
would you recommend it?
if I've only technically had 2.5, then yes, it's in the top 5 right now.
Well, right now,
Yeah.
but you're
Would I have
intending
it
to.
again? I would certainly go have it again. Would I recommend you getting it? I would certainly recommend you getting it.
There you go.
Yeah.
I just wanted that out of
Yeah,
it.
the thing is when you're when you're rating stuff like that, the main thing is, would you serve this to guests in your house?
Mm.
And the answer is, oh hell yeah.
Yeah, and they would love me for doing
Yeah,
it.
Yes, yes. So again, this past Thursday, while I was at McAnally's, I had the the pimento bacon burger, excuse me, from Chef Antoine.
Might as well serve that while you're there.
Yeah, it was.
Now, had you planned? I know I'm interrupting you. Had you planned
Yes.
to taste McAnally's burgers?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, in the beginning, I hadn't even thought about it. He, because I'm asking for recommendations from listeners and readers, he actually says, I make a pretty mean bacon pimento burger at McAnally's. I said, well, you're in luck. I'm there Thursday. Or maybe I'm in luck.
Yeah.
I'm in there Thursday.
So were
And
you in luck?
I was in luck. Yeah, it was good. It was juicy, huge smokiness from the applewood smoked bacon melded with that creamy pimento cheese. And man, this was a good burger too. It was on a Kaiser roll.
Mm-hmm.
It had lettuce on it, which I got rid of most of. And
Well,
I
of
could have
course.
stood an onion even with the bacon pimento, because I know that's not necessarily a combination most people think of. But it was great having the way I did. And then I say half because I told Chef Travis at Willow's I wanted a burger submitted for the list. And he made me this amazing burger but it's special order only, and that's not allowed for this list. It has to be something that's on the menu. But damn if it wasn't a delicious thing. It was juicy Brasstown beef with fried Ashe County Justo cheese. That's Juusto. Oh, yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Harmony Ridge smoked jowl. Fair Share Farm Heart of Little Jim, Miso Masters Country Barley Miso Aioli with a pickled red onion and tomato. And this was on on a brioche.
What was all that?
It was a shload of goodness.
Man.
So that's the 2.5. I mean, I had it, and it will go into a special category because there are going to be some of those. But unlike, because I said in the last week or 2 weeks ago on the podcast, and I said in the article that it was going to be plain burgers, but there are some places you just don't want to get the plain burger from.
Right.
So I'm going to have to weigh them differently, but they have to be on the menu. This was not on the menu, but it can get a special mention because of what it was. But I believe it's going to have to be on the menu, and I'll have to figure out a weighting system for the ones that are the Wild Mexi,
right,
as opposed to
Well, just do them in
Chubby
separate
Decker
categories.
Well, but I want a definitive list, so I'm going to have to weigh them differently to make sure that I'm giving each a fair pull on that top 5, 10, 15, whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say, because the Chubby Decker and the Mexi Burger, if they were both sitting in front of you right now, which one would you pick up?
I can't say, because I love that Chubby Decker. Now, had I never had the Chubby Decker, but the way I like my burgers is the way the Chubby Decker comes, as long as I don't get lettuce on it. Not that I'm opposed to lettuce, I just don't see the point. It's texture. I have an onion. That's the texture I need. Pickles have texture.
Yeah.
So between the two, I mean, I might pick up the Chubby Decker. I might pick up the Wild Mexi. I might pick up the bacon pimento from Macanelli's. So it's just got to be weighted, and it's got to go on how much did I enjoy eating it. That's the whole thing I've always said about the Chubby Decker, and people are like, well, it's just a cheeseburger. No, it's not just a cheeseburger. There's a pride in eating it. I enjoy this, and man, I'm craving it now sitting here. I've not had anything to eat all day, and I'm wanting
and we're talking
a
about
damn
it.
burger. But
we interrupt this message for Tim to go on a burger run.
Yeah, I'll be
right back.
Hold on. And we're back. So, that was good. No, I didn't have one. But, so I'm going to take all things into consideration, and, but that's 2 of them, and I will have more hopefully next week, because this starts a new week today, and I'm allowed 3 a week.
Okay.
As per my agreement with my wife and probably my doctor next Tuesday when I go see him. He's not going to be happy with this, but same thing I told my wife, and Happy's helping me with this. And last night I had a quinoa salad with my spinach stuffed chicken. So
there you go.
So
see, that was a healthy meal.
That was. I'm trying. And last week on because it's Yamas, but
well, yeah.
I went in there specifically to have something healthy, because as much as I love burgers, you get tired of, and I do, you get tired of all that red meat.
You need to do something different.
Yeah, so.
And Yamas is a great change up.
And speaking of this thing, Jason over at Yamas, I don't know Jason's last name right yet, but I will. He is sponsoring my burger run. He's donating whatever in gas. He said he was going to sponsor gas for this.
Fantastic.
So, and that's what I asked for in the article. That's what I asked for last week.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. I would like to have some sponsorship help here. I mean, I'm not asking people to pay me for this.
Right.
I don't want paid, but I have to drive places. I have to sometimes pay for the food. Sometimes it's given to me.
Right.
But that's money out of my own pocket. And I'm doing this as, it's probably under the guise of a service, but it's still a list. Somebody has to do that. So why not me? And I found out that Michael Hastings wants to collaborate with me when I go to write this stuff up He wants to do the writing. And I said, well, you can do your writing for the paper. I'll do mine for the blog, but I can collaborate with you on there. So there will be talk about it in the Winston-Salem Journal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So this burger thing is going well so far. I've gotten a lot of feedback on it. I have a list of places that have been recommended to me. Some places I probably won't get to because they're like in Chapel Hill and things like that. But I've got them anyway.
Right.
So you never know if I'm down there. But the thing is, this is the man who ate the town, and the town is Winston-Salem. Will I go to Yadkinville for it? Probably. It's not that far.
Well,
Will I go to Kernersville? Probably.
How about Mount Airy? Because apparently, what is it, the Loaded Goat up there has the second best burger in the state.
Oh, is that what they say?
Somebody told me that.
Okay. Well,
But okay, well, that's cool. When
I'll
I get to
check
Mount
it out.
Airy, I'll check it out.
Please do, and let me know.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know whether it really should be included on your list or not.
Okay. Yeah, my list.
It is your list.
Yeah. So we planned this. I'm not going to go into any names or anything,
Yeah.
but there was a local publication who did their burger list right after I mentioned mine, and I know that they planned that. I know they do, because the actual time it took to fabricate that list would have taken time.
Well, you had to talk to all of the individuals who
absolutely.
contributed to
Yeah.
that. So,
And I know Christy, the writer, actually, she was the one that was organizing the thing at the 10th this weekend that I
Cool.
did for when we were friends. I knew it had nothing to do with that, but I just couldn't resist taking the jab. Now, this is my list, has nothing to do with that. So,
yeah. Well, it cracked me up because it's like, no, Ray, it's not your list. It's my list.
no, it wasn't you I was talking to. It was Yes Weekly.
Well, it helped me remember that it is your list, but I am allowed to lobby for whomever I think should be on it.
Well, I mean, you were the first one to push Food Freaks.
For good reason.
Because we've had Brandon here, so that helped.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, and overwhelmingly, Food Freaks has had the most recommendations.
People just saying, hey, try this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People
Well,
who
there's a
aren't
reason.
even burger eaters were saying you need to
Yeah.
have those. So I went there. Luckily, it was close to the studio here, and I
Yeah.
was coming here anyway. That's something I don't know that I would want to sit outside and eat it. That's for my preference because I don't like being outside anymore, and I have to. But I was able to come here. I sat for the first time, actually.
You actually sat at the desk?
At the desk in my office.
Well, as
And
messy
ate that-
as that was, it was better than in here.
Oh, I had to lay out paper towels, newspaper, It was like a bird cage. I had to line it with stuff so I could eat it, and it was just running out, but damn if it wasn't good.
Yeah. I have yet to find a bad burger on his list.
Yeah. Okay, well, now I got to stop talking about burgers because I'm
Got a
I'm really
rumbly in your
hungry, yeah.
tumbly?
And again, thank you to Jason. I will get your last name and make that official, but he said he was
Awesome.
going to sponsor
Yamas.
some X amount of something in gas.
Yeah.
And that is, again, at
Yamas.
Yamas. Yeah.
Now, I have to throw this in as my own personal plug for Yamas. I had my birthday. My mother-in-law came to town. She said, I'm going to take you out to lunch anywhere you want to go in town. Where do you want to go? Yamas. Yamas.
Yep.
It's also, I have a meeting Thursday with the person who will be backfilling where I am currently up in Walkertown. And she's new to the area. She said, are there any good restaurants? Yamas.
Yes.
Like, I got to start you here. While we're down here, I can point out about 13,000 other restaurants you need to go try before you leave downtown.
Yeah, but start there.
We're going to start at Yamas.
Because remember, Yamas and yes start with the same letter.
Yes.
Yes.
I like that.
They get that one for free.
Yeah, we do love us some Yamas.
Yes, we do. Love us some Yamas. All right, food holidays. Now, all right, so some of these are ridiculous and some they make sense.
And some of the ones you had in the last couple of weeks, oh man. Whitney was like, right, just shut up. You're not recording it this week, so you can't comment on all of those food holidays.
So today is the 3rd of
Yes, it
June, 6/3, It's National Chocolate Macaroon Day.
I'm good with that. Any day that has chocolate in it.
Go see
We're
Brittany.
going to see Brittany. Oh, she's not open on Mondays.
Oh, that's right. Ooh.
Dang it, Brittany, be open on Mondays.
Yeah.
Or just be open for me to come get you.
Yeah, just have them there, and you can go home after that. It's also National Egg Day.
You know, I'm good with eggs. I like eggs.
Yeah, the incredible edible
egg. Yeah.
In 1997, the USDA announced it will ban manufacturers from using most slaughtered animal parts in feed for farm animals, protect the U.S. food supply from mad cow disease. The ban became effective in August of that year, which, it's basically cannibalism.
I was going to say, we're turning our farm animals into cannibals.
Yeah. The fourth is National Cheese Day, and as I've already said, I like cheese.
Hey, I sell all the cheese.
And I'm also a fan of National Cognac Day.
Cheese and cognac on the same day. That's a good pairing. We could talk about what cheeses do we put with cognac and which cognacs. And
cognac, I would go with the Courvoisier because I'm a fan of the ladies' man. Yes, this empty bottle of Courvoisier means I have run out of time on this radio program. But
oh Lord, he's channeling now.
And I like Courvoisier really, really well. The VO stuff, the XVO. There's I know what those all mean, but I just have to.
You got to go read up on it again.
Have to go read up on it again. But I know that one's very special old. Something VSOP, very special old
person.
No.
Premium.
No.
Pine nuts.
That would be no.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm out of my depth.
Very superior old pale is what VSOP stands for.
Okay. Now we know. We have been educated.
XO means extra old, and just O means old. So,
I want mine extra old.
Yeah.
It'll be mellower and smoother.
Well, then you have the very superior old pale. That's usually the most expensive ones.
Yeah. It's probably why I haven't tried that. Because that's the expensive one.
You just got to find them where they can say, oh, yeah, let me let you taste that.
Yeah, please.
Because I'm not afraid to ask. Can I taste that?
Can I taste like a couple shots worth of that?
Yeah, I didn't.
I need to really taste it.
One more.
I gotta know how it's gonna affect me.
Yeah. I'm your tester. I'm your guinea pig, man. Let me be.
How many shots does it take to start feeling buzzed?
A 1, a 2,
a 3.
Yeah. In 1070, on the 4th, the birth of Roquefort cheese happened.
Wow.
According to legend, and this is probably a little far-fetched, a young shepherd left his rye bread and sheep's cheese in a cave of Cambaloo to pursue a shepherdess.
Ooh.
Later, when he returned to the cave, he discovered his meal covered in a blue-green mold. He tasted the cheese and was delighted, and therefore Roquefort cheese was born.
So, some dumb kid went, hey, this is moldy. I want to have that taste.
He went coal trailing and left his cheese behind. But I will say that Roquefort is one of my favorite cheeses. So I like.
And it's National Cheese Day, so you could pair those two along with the cognac.
Yes, I actually have. That's the blue cheese I have in my freezer at home. Is the Roquefort? Yeah. On the 4th in 1845, Hatch's sewing machine, that's S-O-W-I-N-G, not S-E-W-I-N-G, machine for wheat, oats, and other grasses was first demonstrated. In 1872, Robert Chesbrough of New York patented a method for making Vaseline.
Okay.
In 1895...
Flies in the Vaseline.
African-American inventor Joseph Lee patented a machine for bread crumbing. It was intended for use by restaurants to crumb large quantities of bread scraps. I guess making
croutons,
bread or that, or just
pudding.
Or breadcrumbs for
for toppings
and things. Yeah. In 1907, the automatic washer and dryer are introduced.
And thank you for that.
Yeah. And here's another one we can think. In 1936, when he was a major owner of the Piggly Wiggly supermarket chain, Sylvan Goldman invented the shopping cart. He got the idea from a wooden chair. Wait for my computer to catch up with me. A wooden folding chair. He designed the cart by putting a basket on the seat, another one below, and wheels on the legs. He and a mechanic, Fred Young, put one together with a metal frame and a wire basket, and the frames could be folded up and the basket stacked, which took up less storage room. Customers were reluctant to use this new contraption, so Goldman hired fake shoppers to wheel the carts around pretending to shop so people could see how useful it would be. They become a hit, obviously, and he formed a new company to manufacture the carts. It's hard to imagine a supermarket today without a shopping cart. Everybody carried baskets.
Right. Well, because you didn't go there to buy like 2 weeks worth of groceries at a time.
Right.
You're buying a night or two's worth of food.
Yeah. On this date,
That's cool.
Or I'm sorry, on the 4th of June in 2003, Martha Stewart stepped down as head of her media empire hours after being charged with conspiracy, security fraud, and more. In 2008, Folgers Coffee was acquired by J.M. Smucker from Procter & Gamble. I don't know how I feel about coffee being made from a toothpaste company and then sold to a jelly company.
Yeah. You got to wonder.
Yeah.
I don't drink Folgers.
I don't either. I only drink local stuff, or not local. I mean, it's all grown somewhere else, but roasted locally and decaf.
Oh, no. I got to have the high.
No, I can't. I wish I could.
Yeah. This morning I
turned into
ran out. I didn't have any coffee this morning. And I had the instant stuff because I use it for baking. You know, a spoonful of that in like a chocolate pie, and now it's very tasty.
And how you make red eye gravy.
I did not know that about
So
red eye
not
gravy.
not with instant, but with coffee is red eye gravy is what you take the when you have the sausage or whatever you're doing in there.
Yeah.
Pour coffee in there to deglaze the pan and pour that over. That is red eye gravy.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. So yeah, I don't drink instant coffee. That's your tip for today.
No one should.
No one should.
Flavor
You should never
crystals.
allow anyone to do that. You should smack them
Yeah.
and stop them. It's
Now I will admit
it's tragic.
that I used to drink those international, the little ones when you go, we were at that cafe. What was his name? Jean-Luc. And it was
Jean-Luc Picard.
no, Jean-Luc Ponty. But I would yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not proud of that. But at the time when I was younger and didn't know any better, I was young, stupid.
Well, there was days we
That's
did
kind of like
all
a
sorts of things.
redundancy there.
We drank Zimas.
Yes, we did.
We're not proud of it. We would never recommend it.
I
We would
Actually-
stop our children from
I
doing
actually
that.
drank a Zima not long ago.
Did you?
Because they started making them again.
No,
It was, let me see if it's that bad.
it was.
Nothing has changed. They got it right. They got the formula right.
It's exactly.
It's exactly as shitty as it used to be.
Oh man.
Okay.
Okay. Knowing that you didn't like get the whole 6-pack to go, oh, my love affair with Zima has been renewed.
Someone had one. I forget where I was. They
You're
were
like-
like, here. I'm like, all right. I mean, I wouldn't drink a Bud Light or anything at a party, but they were like, oh, this is nostalgia here. Let's try it.
Yeah.
So the 6/5, June 5th, is World Environment Day, the United Nations Day for encouraging worldwide awareness and action to protect our environment. Since it began in 1974, the event has grown to become a global platform for public outreach that is widely celebrated in over 100 countries.
We really do need to pay attention,
Yeah.
be good stewards, or our kids, our grandkids, our great-grandkids are going to inherit a toxic dump.
Yes. That we are more than just happy to let them have.
Yeah.
Today is, or the 5th of June is also Gingerbread Day.
Oh,
And one that Happy could probably get behind, it's National Veggie Burger Day.
she would be the one to get behind that. I'm going to go with you and get a burger.
Yeah.
A real
Yes.
red beef.
Also, the wives' tale is that if it rains on June 5th, blackberries that year will be small and full of seeds.
Oh, Yeah, no rain.
No.
Rain. No, I like mine plump and seedless.
Yeah.
Of course, I've never had a seedless blackberry. I always had something.
Yeah, well, but some seeds, you have to have, I
Yeah.
guess. But you don't want to just be seedy.
Exactly. Yeah. If they're that small, no, I'm not eating them to begin. I didn't pick them if they were that small.
I used to take some of those protein powders and things, and I put some blackberries in there. And it got to the bottom, and it was like an inch of seeds at the bottom.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
tried a couple because, I like whenever I find them and I like chew them and pop them.
Yeah.
After a bit, that just gets nasty.
We used to pick them when I was a kid. My grandmother would give us a gallon jug, cut a hole in it. And there was a huge blackberry patch just up the street. And we'd go and we'd be in there for a couple hours, come back with a couple gallons of blackberries.
And snakes. Had to go around the snakes.
We never had to deal with the snakes. They heard us coming and went, I'll go somewhere else.
Okay.
During a summer day, they're not likely to be in the shade. They're going to be out sunning themselves somewhere. So it was generally
Yeah,
safe.
those vain little things. Let me get a suntan. It's beach weather. Okay. The fifth, in 1856, the first vegetarian community was established in Kansas. I'm glad I'm not in Kansas anymore.
I'm just, out of respect for Happy, just leaving that one alone.
Yeah. Good for them. That's what
Good
we'll say.
for them.
Good for them.
They didn't get around and do any grilling on Sundays.
Unless it was just vegetables. And
I mean,
then you
grilled
had-
vegetables is, I like vegetables that way. But I like vegetables that way with my protein. That
That's
was
what
also
my-
cooked
That's
on
what
the
my protein eats. In 1876, on the 5th, foil-wrapped bananas are sold for a dime at the Centennial Exposition in Philadelphia. Bananas became a popular treat for the first time in the United States when word spread about how delicious they were.
And now, ubiquitous.
Yeah, I like bananas, but
I
it's
do
not not my top choice if I'm going to have flavored stuff or if I'm going to have a piece of fruit. I will say it's easier to eat them.
Right.
Just peel them and eat.
Yeah.
But because my favorite, I guess, would be an orange, but that's a little more difficult unless I'm just cutting it up and then,
Right.
making the smiley face with the orange.
But now oranges and strawberries and peaches and bananas, apples, put all that in a bowl, a little orange juice.
Fruit salad.
I'm good.
Yummy, yummy. On the 5th in 1977, the Apple II, the first personal computer, went on sale. I
And then
remember
the
when they had
2E.
those. Yeah.
I remember the apples, yeah.
Also in 1977, Alice Cooper's pet boa constrictor died after its dinner of a rat bit it first.
Ooh.
Yeah.
School's out for summer. Sorry, little Alice Cooper.
Yeah. $1 billion babies. So the fifth, in 2008, U.S. antitrust regulators approved the joint venture between SAB Miller and Molson Coors, and soon after that, Miller Coors began as an entity, which is the second largest evil empire behind InBev.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It occurs to me, actually recently, it was one of my kind of moments, that the food that's the worst for us, the processed foods, that's not made by people.
Soylent Green is people.
It's made by machines. And machines can't put love into what they prepare
Right. Same
because they
thing
don't
with-
have love.
Same thing with the beer.
I'm thinking that's why it's not good for us when we have beers that's made here by local people that are putting their own love in it. It's, Brittany talked about that with her food when she's making it. She's pouring love into it. I'm thinking, you know what? That's why food becomes bad for us, is that it doesn't have that essential ingredient that you get when somebody's making it for you.
And when you have most of the stuff sourced from local sources, that's better for you. It helps your immune system better because you're basically getting exposed to the things that are in your environment.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
It's like honey. If you can find honey that's made near you as opposed to off of a shelf in Publix, which admittedly we do buy, it's better for you.
Right.
On the 6th of June, National Applesauce Cake Day.
All right. I mean, I'm not going to get blown away by applesauce cake, but if it's all that's being served, I'm not going to turn it down. But applesauce cake, really? When's the last time you even saw applesauce cake?
I don't know ever. And why do we need a day?
We don't need. You know what? Your day is revoked. No day for you.
No day for you.
No day for you. You go home.
Also on the 6th, it is Drive-In Theater Day and National Moonshine Day.
Days Gone By Day. Moonshine and drive-ins.
That is very much days gone by. In 1907, Persil, the world's first self-acting household detergent, was marketed by Henkel, a C of Dusseldorf. It is a combination of a washing and bleaching agent in one powder, perborate and silicate, so the Persil. And they have, I don't know that it was a whole lot of time here, but just in the last 5 years or so, they've had more commercials for this stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's the guy that's like the superhero or the spy or whatever. He's coming on and do stuff. But I mean, I like their commercials, but I'd never heard of them, but they're like old and famous. So I don't know.
Who knew?
Just because I didn't know about them doesn't mean anything, but
I'm not all that familiar. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But, it's not something I realized had been around so long.
Me either. 1907.
That's
112 years.
You did quick math. I'm impressed. Yeah, 112.
In 1916, Kraft and Brothers Company received a patent for a process of sterilizing cheese and an improved product produced by such process.
Cheese Whiz.
Cheese. I don't know if it's Cheese Whiz, but it was cheese.
It's Velveeta.
Velveeta was a whole different thing until Kraft bought them. Or actually, yeah, Kraft bought them. In 1933, the first drive-in theater was opened in Camden County, New Jersey by Richard Hollingshead. It had 9 rows of parking on 10 acres with room for at least 400 cars. Wow. Admission was 25 cents per car, 25 cents per person, to a maximum of $1.
That's cool. Did you ever go to a drive-in when you were growing up?
I did. I saw both Superman in 1978 there. Then I fell asleep and my parents watched some X-rated movie and it come on afterwards. And then, because that's what they showed afterwards. And then there was another one. I saw a couple, but I saw Flatliners later. I was in high school then. Actually I won't say it was a date. There's like several of us piled in a car and went and that was in West Virginia. I was living here, but was up there visiting. And then in 1984, I think it was, 84, 85, when Supergirl came out, I went with friends. I was still living there, but I wasn't old enough, so they drove, and it was just a family that we went. And so those are the ones I can remember seeing, but I'm sure I saw several others. I like the idea. I just didn't. If you're in a car, it's hard to. You have to constantly. For me, I'd have to constantly bend down to see it. I did like the fact later, whenever they would go from having to have the little box that they just transmitted an AM radio signal, and you could tune into that AM signal. But then again, you had an AM signal. If it had been FM,
you could have had stereo.
There's no static at all.
Oh yeah, I see how you
just
slid that in there.
Steely Dan reference.
Little Steely Dan. It was actually an excellent soundtrack.
It was. It was actually not a bad movie. I mean, I love the aspect of the movie.
If you take a pickup truck and you back in and you put some chairs in the back of the truck, now you're talking about a great way to watch the movie. Because then you got lots of room, you're sitting up high, it's up there in front of you, got it tuned into the radio right behind you, you're right there. But yeah, you're right, if you're doing it in a car, we had a drive-in theater in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee when I was little. And I remember going to see the movies there. It was like, yeah, that's cool.
It is a days gone by type thing, because you will find very few of them, if any, now.
Right. Well, last time I went to a theater, it was down off Haynes Mall Boulevard, and we went in, and
Yeah.
stadium seating, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's a lot different now. Did you see the ones recently where they actually made beds?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
really?
Well, they're the recliners that actually lay back, and you can have beverage service, and you pick your seat.
Yep.
You have reservations. No one goes up and just buys a ticket anymore. You have to go make your reservation online. It's like Open Table for
Yeah. Paying for it, then you got to pay extra for it for the fees for the vendor that's doing all of that for them.
yeah.
I saw one that you can bring your pets, and they serve wine and entrees.
Well,
and,
I think they should be able to sell alcohol.
and I'm thinking, okay, what's the next level of that? Are we going to say, all right, you can move in, you can live here and watch free movies every day?
But you have to live with all these other people.
Yeah, you got to live with them,
That might be a turn off.
But I bet there'd be people like, all right, I got the big screen every day. All right, I'm good with that.
It'll be the same movie every day
I mean, I fall asleep watching it anyway, so what's the difference?
because I'm laid back.
At least I
and
don't have to
comfy.
go home when I got drunk here.
The 7th of June. Now, watching a movie drunk is fun. National Chocolate Ice Cream Day.
Ooh,
Not a fan. I don't like chocolate. Chocolate
yeah.
ice cream is probably my least favorite ice cream.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love chocolate and all the variations, except for white chocolate. White chocolate is not chocolate.
How about Rocky Road? You a Rocky Road fan?
I like Rocky Road.
Okay.
I do.
It's also National Donut Day.
Oh, so now you put those two together. There's a winning combination.
Yeah, I don't know why it was National Donut Day, but it was. In 1921.
You know what? Let's back up. Applesauce cake, you go away. Donuts, you get your day.
Yeah, all by yourself. Well, with Drive-In Theater Day and National Moonshine Day.
But that's fine. Moonshine and donuts. Ooh. I'll leave that alone. That'll get messy.
I'm sure it's been it's happened.
Oh.
We are here in Winston-Salem.
Here, hold my
Close-
shine.
Close to Wilkes County and Krispy Kreme's original home.
Yeah.
1921 on the 7th, the Minnesota Cooperative Creameries Association is formed. Luckily, they changed their name to the more easy pronounced Land O'Lakes.
Oh, yeah. I love their butter.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I
good
do
butter.
too. It's good butter.
I don't mind paying a little extra for that.
I like their whipped butter, too, the white
Yeah.
whipped butter.
Yeah, that's good.
The 8th is World Oceans Day, a global day of ocean celebration. Yay, an ocean!
Yay!
And collaboration for a better future for this amazing resource we all depend on. National Rosé Day, National Jelly-Filled Donut Day. Right after that, I don't know.
It gets its own day. And there was already a donut day the day before. Okay. Somebody lobbied, somebody paid. It happened.
It's Chicken Tetrazzini Day, named after some famous dancer named Louisa Tetrazzini that an American chef had a thing for. She was Russian, I think. It's also Maple on Creme Fraiche Day,
Okay. That's a little specific.
and one that I can really get behind. It's World Gin Day.
Oh,
I like gin.
I'm not all that fond of gin, personally.
I had the right gin.
I probably haven't, because it always smelled like pine sol to me.
Well, yeah, juniper berries do sound. Yeah, they come from trees, and that are I get that.
I'm willing to try it
We'll find you a gin.
with the right one.
Yeah. In 1824, a washing machine was patented by Noah Cushing of Quebec. It was the first Canadian patent ever issued.
Oh,
In
took them
1880,
a while.
yeah. In 1880, on the 8th, at the first International Millers exhibition in Cincinnati, Ohio, Washburn Crosby Company of Minnesota, forerunner of General Mills, won 3 top medals for their flour, including the gold medal for the superlative flour. They adopted gold medal as the name of their best
I was going
flour.
to say, it's gold medal flour. I'm familiar with that.
In 1953, the Supreme Court ruled that restaurants in the District of Columbia could not refuse to serve black people.
Mm.
In 1965, the merger of Pepsi-Cola and Frito-Lay was approved by shareholders of both companies, forming a new company called PepsiCo, Inc.
Mm-hmm.
I remember as a child, one of the better cut downs Someone could tell you, I didn't know your mom sold potato chips. Well, she doesn't. I heard her on the corner saying Frito-Lay, Frito-Lay. In 2018, sadly, Anthony Bourdain passed away.
Yeah.
He died of an apparent suicide. He was an influential American celebrity chef, author of Kitchen Confidential, and he was a world culinary traveler. Stephanie and I were numb for days after his passing. He was our favorite celebrity chef. Like we were friends with him, even though we never met the man. He was in our living rooms often, because even when his show wasn't in its first run, we were watching recorded episodes. So it was just hard to do.
Yeah.
And backing up a bit, 6'8" in 1989, I graduated from high school.
Yay!
30 years ago. I know you got me on that, but I'm just saying, for me,
Mine was 84, yeah.
35 years ago.
It's been a while.
And on finally the 9th of June, this one did go a little long, National Strawberry Rhubarb Pie Day.
Okay. I'm not all that fond of rhubarb to begin with, but
I've only had it a couple times. I think I liked it, but it's so long ago, I don't know what was going on with that.
if the rhubarb was prepared correctly, then yes, I will enjoy it. But otherwise, yeah, probably not.
In 1822, Charles Graham received the first patent for false teeth, even though they had been around before, because we know that George Washington had wooden
Nobody
teeth.
had patented them.
Right. In 1931, on the 9th, the Alka-Seltzer trademark was registered.
Plop, plop, fizz, fizz.
Oh, what a relief it is. In 1934, Donald Duck made his first appearance in the Wise Little Hen. It was a... That's one of the ones I can't do. A Walt Disney Silly Symphonies cartoon. I always like messing with the kids when I'm in Disney World, because my Mickey Mouse. Oh, boy! Hiya, pal!
He's here.
Hope you come back real soon.
He's here. Where's Mickey? I hear him. I just don't see him.
And in 1953, John H. Kraft received a patent for the manufacture of soft surface cured cheese. Kraft did a lot of stuff.
A lot of cheesy stuff.
Yeah, that's cheesy.
That was cheesy on top
That
of
was
that.
that was really bad. So I apologize to all the listeners and you, Ray, for making you sit
I'm
through
sorry.
that.
Yeah, sorry.
So that's your food, holidays, and history for this week. Thank you, James Ehler at foodreference.com for making us chuckle and question some people's sanity.
Yeah, and seriously, applesauce cake doesn't need a name.
No.
Strike that from the books.
It's out. That's just... Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to look into what it takes to get a day registered. And I'm going to register the most stupid thing I can. I don't know what it is. I'll just think
It's
of something.
Pick Your Friend's Boogers Day.
That's it. I'll look for that and see if I can put it out. So,
you can pick your friends and you can pick your nose, but you can't wipe your friends on the side of the couch. So, moving on.
sometimes you can.
And,
That's what we're getting.
well, after National Gin Day, yes, you might be able to.
Oh, you didn't say wipe your friends off the couch. You said
Exactly.
All right, so the Man Who Ate the Town podcast is part of the Less Desirables podcast network. Along with this podcast, you can listen to the Less Desirables, the Beer Dads, Fan Interference, and Apartment 5B,
And you should.
soon to come, Beeswax Vinyl.
Yes, I noticed the new thing to follow on Instagram.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it's going to consist of, but we're going to do something. It'll probably be Clay Howard and myself and other music people if we can get them involved. But it won't only be about vinyl, but
Just
because
music.
we're vinyl fans, it'll probably have something to do with that. You can find all these podcasts, the current ones anyway, and the latest episodes on our network website and directory, tldpodnetwork.com. You'll also find social media links for each one there as well.
Go there now.
We would love for you to visit
Go
our
there now.
sponsors. Delicio's Italian Restaurant, 301 Brookstown Avenue. They are the go-to Italian restaurant in town. And I will say it again, it's my favorite Italian from my favorite Italians.
He said the. You heard that, right? The Italian.
The Italian. They are fully ABC compliant and rocking the bevies from what I understand. Again, they're not open currently for lunch. I think that for the summer they're pulling back some hours. So it's 4 to 9 Monday through Thursday and 4 to 10 on Fridays and Saturdays. Check them out on Instagram and Facebook. Washington Perkin Provision Company is located 301 West 4th Street. You will find a little bit of everything at the Perk. Wolfie's Custard, Larry's Beans, coffee, Papa Doc's Bionic Tonic, same thing. Fresh fruit and veggies, eggs, milk and cheese, condiments, toiletries, and more. Heck, get a delicious and inexpensive sandwich made at their deli counter. Washington Perk is better than a convenience store, not quite a grocery store. Again, located 301 West 4th Street. They're on Facebook, just Washington Perk, or on Instagram, it's at WashingtonPerk_DTWS.
That stands for Downtown Winston-Salem, in case you didn't figure that out.
See?
I can be
Ray
helpful.
Morgan taking the work out of everybody's thought process. And we thank him for that. The Humblebee shop is located at 1003 Brookstown Avenue in the west end of downtown. You need to go to their Instagram right now and look up the Humblebee shop. Brittany is whipping up some delicious goodies, regular, vegan, gluten-free, not gluten-free, but gluten-free.
If you needed to be gluten-free, I'm sure she'd figure that out.
Yeah, she'd just leave the gluten out.
If you go look at her Instagram, you will get in your car and you will drive down there.
Yeah.
So just go ahead and drive down there.
They want to challenge your perception of Scratch Made and leave you with an experience you couldn't possibly forget. For more information, follow them on Facebook and Instagram, or visit thehumblebeshop.co.
SHOPPE.co.
Yes. Keep an eye on the blog and this podcast to find out more about food news and happenings around town. If you have food news or
Call us.
Call us.
Let us know.
An email, tim@themanwhoatethetown.com. I still want recommendations for burgers. Send me your recommendations. You can send them there. You can send them to me on Facebook, my personal account, or the Man Who Ate the Town account on Instagram, Twitter. However you want to send it, send it. And like us on Facebook. On Twitter, we are Man Who Number 8 the Town. On Instagram, we are Man Who Ate the Town. My name is Tim.
My name's Ray.
So glad you're back.
Me too.
And we're closing the recipe box.
Snap.
Until next time, thank you for reading. Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving me burger recommendations. Bon appetit. The views and opinions stated by me or any of my guests are solely those of ours and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our hosting companies, distributors, enemies, friends, or relatives. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced or distributed without express written consent of the Man Who Ate the Town, that's me, and Such Limited Inc. However, if you ask nicely, we'll probably let you.